We're moving on to the Brooklyn Nets, and they crumpled apart. It was looking like Celtics Nets was going to be a fantastic series after that first game ending in the buzzer beater. Turns out it was not a good series. It was just a good old sweep. But the drama is great, and it turns out everything with the drama we believe was Kyrie Irving's fault, because everything really just follows the ripple effect. I don't think it's too hard to read between the tree leaves on this one, but obviously it all started out with the vaccine, refused to get it, him refusing to get it. They decide to make him a part-time player. Other guys, they start getting COVID. They're like, oh, well, Irving's still kind of healthy, so they reinstate him, which James Harden doesn't love that, seemingly, and so that causes issues. It seems like there was other issues with James as well, but he ends up getting traded, and then you inherit the Ben Simmons headache on top of that, and all on top of this everything, Kyrie Irving wants a 5-year, $250+ million contract extension now at the end of the season. He's always missing games. He hasn't played over like 57 games in the last 6 years, maybe not in his entire career. And like, he is one of the most gifted players of all time. Statistically, he is fantastic. But after riding the coattails of LeBron James, he hasn't succeeded in the playoffs. He hasn't done anything without LeBron.
Yeah, I mean, let's look at it. 29 games this year. Obviously, it was because of the vaccination. And I think we've stated how many times we had a problem with that. We're like, listen, man, all things aside, like, your team needed you this whole time. And it's even if you don't give a shit what I say, like, your team needed you to come out there and play, and it affected it. Like, they only played 16 games, Kyrie, James Harden, and Kevin Durant, and they were 13-3. We were always worried about their defense and how it was going to be, but they seemed like their offense was enough to carry them. So they had it made. They really did. They were the favorites going into the season. He refused to get the vaccination, refused to play, and so everything occurred. Now, I get, like, a lot of people are going to lean on and be like, it's not his fault Ben Simmons doesn't want to play basketball. I'm like, you're right. That's not his fault. What his fault is that Ben Simmons is a net. Like, it's so hard not to say that what Kyrie did had no like effect on James Harden's decision to want to go to the 76ers. You can't
say it was a contribution to the rift that was in the locker room already.
Yeah, you could think about if he was playing, how, like, clearly they'd be like, okay, maybe that would make him want to stay, because they would have been doing well. Like I said, 13-3 when they were all together, and they made it to the not the conference finals, semis.
Well, they were 1 inch away from getting past the Bucks in the semifinals, and everybody presumes if they had gone past the Bucks, they would have went to the finals and maybe won the whole damn thing. So
very well could have. Yeah.
Who knows? Who knows if they would have actually done that? But they would have just had to get past the Hawks like the Bucks did, and I'd like to think that they could have got past them just the same.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They definitely could have. But one thing that's going to come out of this is a lot of people are going to lean on Steve Nash. And I've said I don't think he's the best coach. However,
he's just a yes man.
Yeah, I mean, that's what they hired him in. But however,
yeah.
I don't blame Steve Nash for this. I mean, like, how can you? He hasn't had his full team, let alone, like, when you have a star like Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant, when you write an offense, no matter what, the coach still has to write offensive plays and everything. How do you set up all these lineups and different plays when you don't know how he's not on the floor playing? Like, he might practice with them, but, like, you need to be on court. You need to be playing for these to matter. And it's so hard for a coach to just throw it together on the highest stage of basketball.
Yeah. Kyrie doesn't think he needs Steve Nash. That's the problem. Like, even just after the season ended, Kyrie said, me, Kevin Durant, Joe Tsai, and Sean Marks, we're going to work together to fix this team. He didn't even mention his head coach, Steve Nash. And, like, before the season, he made a comment like, I don't really think of us having a head coach. It's more like we're all the head coach. Like, at one time, Steve's the head coach. Another time, I'm the head coach. Another time, Kevin's the head coach. Like, no.
Yeah.
Steve Nash is the head coach.
Yeah, listen, like Kyrie wants to say how much the media hates him and how there's this narrative, but like here's the fact is you wanted out of Cleveland when you had it made. You just had gone to the finals the year before with LeBron just because you wanted you didn't want to be LeBron's sidekick. Left to the Celtics, which is also another made team. They made it to the conference finals without you. All you had to do was make it work, and
They
you
got
didn't.
jealous.
And you locker rooms issues there, locker room issues in Cleveland. So then you go to the Nets. Look what's happening. Like I don't listen.
So that's so weird.
So
There's been
crazy.
problems everywhere.
There's a
That
definitely a
Kyrie's
correlation. Yeah.
But somehow it's been everyone else's fault.
So I do want to touch on where does Kyrie's fault end and where does it fall on KD to be like, listen, man, they put this team together for you to lead. Kyrie, they signed Kyrie on because you wanted him to be there. How much does this fall on KD?
I think a good amount of blame does fall on Kevin Durant because the only reason they put up with Kyrie's stuff is because Kevin Durant wants him on the team. And like if it was their choice, they probably would have gotten rid of Kyrie before James Harden. They would have tried to work things out there.
Yeah.
But obviously, like personalities is just such a big factor here, and we knew that when the team was put together. And Durant is like the key reason this team's been put together. Like he is the center point of it. It's not a super team without him. So I think a good amount of blame should go to him.
I feel like it's his leadership style, and this isn't.
He's not a leader. That's why.
Well, so this isn't really. Okay, I do think he is a leader in like different ways. So I think he's the same type of leader as Steph Curry, where he's a great role model. He's great for the young players. They can come up. You can talk with him. He's such a good team player.
Steph Curry is a miles better, miles ahead.
Without Draymond Green is that leader. LeBron's that type of leader. They're all them. Chris Paul. They're all the same type of alpha leadership. Steph Curry's not an alpha leadership. You listen to him, you gravitate towards him. But Kyrie needs that LeBron, that Chris Paul, that Draymond to be like, hey man, like when the vaccination stuff was happening,
that Kyrie thinks he's that guy.
Yeah. So exactly. So that's where KD had to figure it out. And should have sat him down and be like, listen, man, we need you to be out there on the court. We have James Harden. This is our window. We can do it on our own without anybody, without Steph Curry, without the Golden State Warriors, without LeBron. That's the narrative. And James Harden, they all had the same narrative that they wanted to complete. And he's like, that way, if Kyrie wouldn't have put up with it, he would have been like, okay, fine, we're keeping James Harden, but Kyrie's
they probably said all those things to Kyrie when they were trying to get him to get the fucking vaccine, but he wouldn't do it. And then James Harden got pissed, and then they just like, okay, I guess we're gonna side with Kyrie.
Yeah, I mean, it's just tough. It was bad. We'll see what happens next year. Honestly, I mean, I don't know if they're gonna be as deep as they are this next year. I mean, LaMarcus is up, his contract's up, Drummond is up. Say what you will about Drummond, but like he still played some valuable minutes for these guys. He played some nice. Without them, they would have had no interior presence at all, like defensively. Even though he's not the best defensive player, he still is enough. I think he's enough.
It's like for a lot of teams, like they can't do any better for that type of player
on a minimum contract, and you get a guy like Andre Drummond, who will at the very least pull down as many rebounds as he can.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's a great pick and roll partner at the very least. So like, there's so much worse you can get for centers out there, and now he's definitely going to get a contract from anyone else. Blake Griffin's already is getting so much worse year by year. LaMarcus Aldridge, same deal. Like, you're just gonna have like Steph Curry. Joe Harris is falling off. He's injured right now, but he's falling off. You're gonna have to lean on guys like Nick Claxton, who he's a great player. I love Nick Claxton. He can certainly step into that center role. But then you guys got guys like Cam Thomas stepping up, Patty Mills. Like your depth is just you're gonna lose a lot of veteran presence now this coming up next year, and I don't know what they're gonna do.
Find new ones.
I mean, they have Ben Simmons.
I think they can convince guys, to come veteran ring shop with them again. Even if like I mean, I don't know. Like, they shouldn't be considered a favorite going into next year, obviously. Many other teams should be considered that. But many teams are going to gravitate to them nonetheless because of the stars they have. That draws guys in.
Really? Yeah. I mean, like, I see it because, like, I talked a lot about, I thought PJ Tucker was, like, a lock to go into the Nets last year. You know, I talked about that in the offseason. And if it was the same situation on this team now, I don't see PJ Tucker wanting anything to do with the Nets, you know? And it's like vets like that really matter. Like, look what he's done with the Heat. He's been great. He's even had more, like, offense with the Heat. So, like, I don't, like, if that's the caliber of vets you want to sign, I don't see none of them interest me. I look at guys like the Bucks. I see guys like the Warriors. Obviously, those are good teams. But even the Hawks, I think I would rather go to the Hawks. Be like, you need defensive help, I'll go there. All things considered, the Hawks look more functional. They might not be the best fit of all that talent next to each other. Much like,
hot take. I mean, there's no way the Hawks are better than the Nets next season.
I'm not saying better. I'm saying, like, I mean, it depends if they have what offseason they have. But
there's zero chance the Hawks finish ahead of the Nets next year. I'm calling it right now.
Okay, well, we'll see.
Asinine.
Kyrie's fault. I do think if Kyrie would have gone back, that we'd be talking about something totally. We'd be talking about them in the conference finals right now, or at least making it past the first round.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing is too. Harden is not who he used to be. He's not very good right now. He's still a great playmaker, so at least there's that. But shooting wise, fucking atrocious. Throw it in the dumpster type of play. So I don't know. We'll see how much it progresses next year. Harden could be really bad real soon.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I mean, this guy's been put in 3 different roles in 2 years. It's crazy. But we'll see what he does in this next series against the
I wouldn't
Heat.
say he's been put in 3 different roles, but
he's put himself.
He put himself in those roles.
Yo, it's Alec here with Strictly Ball Business. Make sure to subscribe and view our next video that pops up in your queue.